Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Aerial Outsiders podcast. I'm your host, Kyle, and this is where we talk about drones, NASCAR, football, and basketball. Let's get to it. This episode is brought to you by Netzel Air Drone Services LLC, an Omaha-based drone company offering construction monitoring, real estate photos and videos, small events, and thermal imaging. So today I wanted to cover the Green Bay Packers game that happened here. It would have been late last night. I'm up here at 2 a.m. in the morning, almost 3 a.m. But I wanted to cover the game. It was a good game. Washington was a playoff team last year. Green Bay was a playoff team last year. However, last year the NFC North went 0 for 3 in the playoffs. The good thing for the Packers this year is that they beat the Detroit Lions, and now they've beaten the Washington Commanders, and that really says something. Their defense, after adding Micah Parsons, is legit. I will just say it outright. It is legit. Looking at Washington's offense, it looked like it was a little rushed. But that's to be expected. While watching the game, there were multiple times where the pocket collapsed around Jayden Daniels because Micah Parsons is getting all the attention on the line. Whenever Micah Parsons, even on 45% of the plays, Micah Parsons needs the attention from the offensive line in order to give your quarterback enough time to throw the ball. Well, he was disrupting that all night long, even on some of the fourth down plays, which Washington needed to convert. They were not converting just because Micah Parsons was creating havoc where he creates the double team for himself. But then you have Van Ness on the other side, or Rashawn Gary getting the one-on-one attention with the blockers, and they're able to create chaos in the pocket for Jayden Daniels. So I think overall the game was good. I am a Packer fan, so yay, go Packers. So that means they're 2-0, and they're more than likely leading the NFC North, just because week 2 hasn't played yet all the way through. But just watching the game, I think the Packers could very well make the NFC Championship game, if not the Super Bowl. We like our 27s in Green Bay. Jordan Love turns 27 in November, so if you look back in the past, what happened when our quarterbacks are 27? They win a Super Bowl. But I think Micah, he will create a legacy in Green Bay like no other. I think that he could be on the same level as Reggie White. He could be. But he did also say on his post-game interview that if he can create a legacy that could mirror Reggie White's, he'd be happy. Honestly, I think Micah, he's here to stay in Green Bay. So with that being said, I think the Green Bay Packers defense is legit. I also wanted to say this, is that Jayden Reed, he got injured with what looked like a collarbone injury or an arm injury of some sort, collarbone, arm injury. And so he went out. He did make a few catches, but that just means he's out until 10/26. I read it on ESPN, so he did get – I don't remember if they said if it was a collarbone or an arm. It looked like a collarbone. And so he won't be back till 10/26. So that's a loss, but the Green Bay offense still has plenty of weapons, especially if they just sign Christian Watson to a 1-year deal. You still have Romeo Doubs. You still have Matthew Golden in the arsenal for Jordan Love to use for the offense. And so all game long, it just seemed like Green Bay marched down the field with ease, pretty easily. Even though I know Marshawn Lattimore, he was playing for the first time in a while, from what I can remember. They did mention him only playing like 25 or 26 games in the last 3 years because he had an ankle injury. Then he had an abdominal injury. But Marshawn Lattimore, he was known for being the shutdown corner in New Orleans just only 2 to 3 years back. And, of course, Bobby Wagner, he got mentioned, but it didn't look like Washington's D was as good as it maybe should have been, like last year. But then, again, we are still early in the season. But Green Bay wins 27-18. Like I said, there were fourth downs late in the game that Washington needed to convert. But with the flip side of that, Micah Parsons really played a huge role for Green Bay in disrupting the fourth down plays, one of which forced Jaden Daniels to throw a pass that just fell 4 to 5 yards short of where McLaurin and Deebo Samuel were standing. So, so Washington, you guys had a chance. A very good game, though. Very talented football team. I will give you that much. And I know McLaurin, he has the help now, especially with Deebo Samuel. So I like the look of Washington, and especially with Zach Ertz showing that he still has the wheels to get to the end zone after catching a short pass. Washington will be in the mix, but I don't know if they are above Green Bay. Even though they made the conference championship last year, I think Green Bay is still above Washington. Even though it is only week 2, a lot can happen. More injuries could happen to the Packers, but let's face it, the Packers have gotten injuries before, and they've still won the Super Bowl. We go back to about 15 years ago to Super Bowl 45, and Green Bay won the Super Bowl with, I think, a record number of 11 to 15 IR players. But with that being said, that was history. But you never know. Barring anybody getting a huge injury like that places them on IR, I think the Packers are legit and have a good chance of going to the NFC Championship game. With that being said, I'll be back to update with the NASCAR race and then also more drone news in the next few episodes. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you again for listening. My Facebook page is Aerial Outsiders Podcast, and I try to update that as much as possible. So go ahead, check that out, give it a follow. Also, download this podcast and follow it wherever you get your podcasts at, on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, even iHeartRadio. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.